Good evening, Randomania, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2021 Chaos Comedy Tour. I am your co-host for this evening's festivities, Darkmoon EX, joined in the booth by Hate13. Hey, how's it going over there?
It's going pretty well for me. It's a pleasant evening, and getting to watch and make some chatter about some races going on.
Should be a good one here tonight. Look at an interesting one here. We have Grendy, who, if I'm not mistaken, went through our Duckling Derby this last winter set that we do, because we do that twice a year for all our new players, Ducklings being our new players. We love to train them up and then set them into our own little tournament and let them go to town. Fiend of Obsession, meanwhile, is a new player. Both of them, however, are playing, as chat notes, Roxalt and chat notes for me, very aggressive comps. Grendy said that his fighter Black Mage comp is his favorite comp, and I didn't realize he meant literally fighter Black Mage with two nuns. That's pretty bold there, Hate, I would say.
That is very much a bold move, as it is often said. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
See how it pays off, indeed. Fiend of Obsession went with a black belt with two red mages and a nun. That's an interesting party choice. My assumption is he's planning to kill everything, because red mages don't run, and black belts don't run. So he's going to get a lot of experience, because he's not going to be running from anything. It's a bit of a safety in that respect. Black mages can run a little better than the red mages can, but the black mages, of course, don't traditionally have white magic, whereas the red mages should, unless there was some really bad blursing that happened this time around. So it's an interesting party comp. It's not going to be fast, quote unquote, but it will have a lot of power behind it.
Yeah, that is. I'm wondering how that's going to work out for him. I'm not sure what the blurses are myself either.
We'll just go in blind. It'll be fine.
I might have to spin this up and take a look at it.
We will be starting in about a minute and a half or so once the stream catches up after that. That's what our timer is letting us know for this. So it will be interesting. I've said that before. I need to say a different word here. I'm curious about how these strats are going to work out. Grendy, with only two party members, is going to get a ton of experience, but he's going to have to check chests, because he's going to be looking for equipment. With the Black Belt Red Mage comp, money is going to be tight for Fiend, so an early check of chests is going to be important, because he's going to want to buy all the spells. But he's not going to have to check chests through most of the game, because the Black Belt doesn't care about equipment. At a certain point, because we have dud locations and not loose items, he's just going to be going to the dungeons that have interesting things, opening whatever boxes he has to until he gets the item he's looking for, and then presumably bailing. So, Lackey's in chat asking if we know what the current record is for the players. I don't know what Grendy is sitting at, but from what I understand, this is Fiend of Obsession's very first live race on a channel anywhere.
Yep, that is correct. And Grendy is currently sitting at 0-2. He had I don't remember exactly how the first race went, but the last race was a real nail-biter. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely advise go tracking down that VOD and watching it.
Grendy, having been through our Duckling boot camp, I would say probably has the slight edge as far as, like, you know, the gambling odds against Fiend, who's a Duckling. But I would really honestly say that this could go either way, entirely based on what we see from the magic and how things play out. And we are off with a woman blocking our path. So we've got black magic going in and Ice 3. Oh, okay, so everyone wants Nuke, everyone wants Faith. Those are the ones. Now, as far as actual pure damage output is concerned, Ice 3 is pretty good. Ice 3 actually can do more damage against a monster that's weak to it than even Nuke can. So, good to have that spell. That's going to be a great sweeper for them. Also, see, we have, I think it was vanilla gold bracelets there for only 9k, so as soon as you have some cash, you can buy one or two of those, and Grendy only needs 18 grand to buy enough for his whole party.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good find that early on.
Yeah,
get something.
I love seeing that.
Get something to make them all a little less squishy, because level 1, oh look, you're kind of tissue paper.
You are very tissue paper. Thing is, they know where gold bracelets are. As oh wow, imps with rub, those are gross imps. As soon as and there they go again. As soon as they find those pro rings, I would stop checking armor shops entirely because you don't need them at that point.
Yeah, the only thing to check armor shops for beyond that would be ribbon, which won't exist in armor shops.
Yep. Yeah, that then you're gonna check boxes for that, or just not stress about it. That's your decision to make at this point. So yeah, the static cling imps causing some serious problems for both of our parties because they're the first two encounters on the table. But then Fiend killed some creeps, got up to level 3, gonna feel good about that. And now we're gonna go ice down Garland, who had less than 138 health, and success.
Grendy going for the chests in Temple of Fiends, finding a good 10k right out of one of them. And the king going, all right, a man, a plan, a canal.
Wow. Okay, world is basically open to us at this point. Where they go and what they do, that is going to be the question. That if they were true experienced pros that have been with the community for 2 or 3 years, I would say canal ship, go to Provoca, see if you have any turn-ins, do your turn-ins, and then just sail off towards like Melmond and Earth Cave and so forth. But they're not experienced pros, so I am curious to see where they head from here. Now that, the Royals have basically opened up the world to them.
Very much so, and, well, I'm being a relatively new person to the community myself. Yeah, I can concur that being an inexperienced person, I'm not going outside the sea yet.
Yeah, there's enough stuff to do here. Like that Marsh play is available because Marsh is incentivized in this flag set. That's something to think about. I've seen plenty of decent things be lurking in Marsh. I think the race I commentated a day or two ago had Floater in Marsh, for example. So you don't want to sleep on Marsh necessarily, but it's just as likely it has the tail, which doesn't matter to Fiend, or one of the 2 dud items, or nothing. Like, there's a possibility. So you got to think about whether or not Marsh is worth it to you over other bets to make.
Yeah, and, well, I have forgotten what I was going to say. I know it was something about looting, but...
We're good.
Yeah. And also, for those not familiar with the current flag set that we're running on the spring tournament, there aren't loose items, but the incentive items aren't in their vanilla locations either. We have them placed randomly about the dungeons they're in, so they're going to be opening up chests no matter what.
So we got Lightning 3 and Quad X at the Black Magic Shop, and then Invis 1 at the White Magic Shop. I wouldn't say it's the best mix, but I mean, I wouldn't pass up Lightning 3, I wouldn't pass up Quad X. Really, at this point, we're going to have enough sweepers and instant kills that now we're going to be focusing on trying to figure out where fast and temper, life spells, Invis 2 maybe, because you want to flesh out your list. Pirates go down easy, gets the rod, and just more heals and pierce. So we're still looking for that shop item right now. But there's still plenty of shops to check. They have free canoe in this flag set, so they can go sail over to Crescent Lake, and that's a play a lot of people do make from in this flag set from Provoca right now. Having the ship probably sail down the river system to get closer to Crescent before you do it, unless you want to pull a Dangwu and decide to just go straight into Ice Cave.
Yeah, hashtag never ice. And it looked like Grendy actually checked the armor shop in Provoca and found Pro Rings +4 for 17k. Same with the Obsession.
Yeah, I mean, you get... What is that? I'm doing math. I'm sorry everyone, I'm doing math. You get like 25k in your bank per player, so you got 50k right there. You got all the armor you need until you find something better for the fighter. But they can wear the gold and the Pro Ring +4, so when you decide to do that, it's up to you.
And looks like Grendy deciding to go, I don't feel like checking Crescent and dealing with the river system. I'm just going to go check Elfland.
Well, he's got the money right now to go check Elfland, and fast is cheap at level 3. Nice spell to have. Silver's +3 for 2 grand. I just go get the gold at that point. It's not that much more expensive. And Slab for almost 10. See, seeing that right there indicates 2 things to me. And, Hate, I know you're new, but you've been playing... Oh, and there's new Contemporary at level 4. Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking. You need money. Money is important. But you've got Ice, you've got Lightning 3, you've got Quad X, you've got the kind of spells you need to go take out a low-level dungeon. If you don't first go to Crescent, sailing the river system and killing some creeps along the way to find out what the sages have, I think you certainly are contemplating a Marsh Cave dive at this point to pick the treasure chest there and get some money out of Marsh Cave.
Yeah, in this instance, I might even actually consider going Marsh Bottom first, just for the extra chests and extra XP.
Yeah, like... I hate Marsh Bottom. You were saying never Ice. I am hashtag never Marsh. I go there because it's incentivized, and I'll do it. But what I want is to be able to find the item as soon as possible, get like 2 treasure chests that have like 20k, or a couple of items that are worth that, and then bounce. I don't want to do any more there than I have to.
Yeah, my normal play is to hit Marsh top first because I despise Marsh. I mean, I blame that on how it treated me as a child.
It treats everyone that way. It doesn't. You can be an adult and it will still slap you around.
Yeah.
Marsh is evil.
Yes, we are definitely in agreement there.
Yeah. Well, and Grandy did something interesting. Again, he's got 2 players, so his level growth is interesting in comparison to Fiend, who has 3. He's getting more experience even for these low-level trash mobs, and he went and fought a bunch of trash mobs outside of Elfland, knowing full well they're worth decent money. You get Ogre Creep Pack, and you can actually get a couple grand off of them, even at the scaling we have right now. So he did that so he could buy Nuke, and I like that play.
Yeah, the quicker you can buy those microwaves to throw at people, generally the better.
This one has a Lazy Susan in it, Chuck.
Gotta love it. Like Fiend going, oh, look, Kyozoku's. Why? And just saying, here, hold this lightning rod for a moment, will ya?
They are worth money. They're a kind of pirate. They're worth money. Oh, here's the bottle. I would check the rest of the chests here on this floor just to see if you get the rest of the couch cash you need, and then bounce.
Yeah, the only thing to worry about is, well, let's see if those bones are our bones rolled rudely.
Now, I think the damage output, even though... Oh, ouch. Even though the undead and the crawl there showed us why. Even though the undead are weak to fire 2, I think the overall damage output on the Lightning 3 is stronger and probably would have killed that crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those... I hate those packs. I hate them so hard.
Yeah. The undead is not weak to lightning, but it's not strong against it like it is with ice. So, like, if you have a level 3 spell that you can use against the undead here in Marsh, use it.
Oof. And, excuse me, as was noted in the chat earlier, yeah, houses rolled up. They were 2.7k each. That's expensive housing market.
The Monopoly pack right there. Okay. Is the crawl gonna fire 3? Because, okay, fire 2 comes off, should kill it because the fighter already blasted it. Yep. But you can see, fire 3 was only doing like 34, or fire 2 was only doing 34 damage there. The lightning 3 probably would have been close to 100. Likely would have insta-killed that crawl.
And it looks like Fiend actually is going, I'm not going to Marsh yet. I'm going to go check everything else.
Yeah, well, something else to consider with Fiend is he has a black belt. So his first job is to find a spike tile, a grind tile, and go with it. And there are 3 lurking right there at Earth Cave.
Yeah, 3 relatively easy to get to ones as well,
Mm-hmm.
as long as there's not too much chaff in the way.
You'll probably have to burn 2 encounters off the cycle to get rid of those 2, like the impacts that we saw fitting. That's going to travel through all the various encounter tables. Well, you're going to get 2 of the same at the very start when you enter this dungeon. Save outside, burn both of them off, or not.
Or just run for the Hall of Giants and
run for
fire.
it. I mean, you got Ice 3 against fires. I would probably use that. Problem is they just killed your black belt, but they are dying to Ice 3.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's a good proof of concept test at least.
Yeah,
just gotta move that black belt down
right
so
now,
he doesn't get bodied.
Right now, the thing is, you've got nuke charges at level 4 you want to earn. I don't think I necessarily mind that my black belt is dead, because all that experience is pouring on my red mages that need it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And looks like Grendy going for the greed chests in Marsh Bottom because he dislikes himself, I guess?
I feel that I need to suffer.
And our tracker, Duchess for Kaiosama, pointing out that the katana rolled extra crappy at a -5. Thankfully enough, no one's going to be worrying about that.
No, and thing is, the price on the katana doesn't pay attention to the value of the blursing. So it might be a -5 katana, but it still sells like a katana.
It'll still bankroll quite a few spells for him.
Yeah, I mean, Fiend probably saw the slab and he's sitting there going, I need that slab, so he's going to fight as many of these earth or fire elementals as he can to get his slab money. Meanwhile, Grendy's sitting there going, I need all the slab money I can get. I'm going to go explore the worst dungeon in the game.
So he's going to ice.
Marsh is worse. It has less tiles that are interesting and can make you money, and it's so spread out with so many diverse packs. Ice is better than Marsh, and I'll take that to my grave.
Ice is better for Marsh if you like hurting yourself. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
See, thing is, I will do an ice play at like level 6 or 7 with the right magic. Even with the right magic, Marsh has burned me so many times. I'm sitting there going, maybe I want to be level 15.
You see, I've had that experience with ice where it's like, okay, I'm level 15 and I walk into ice and all of a sudden here's a giant undead pack going, you get to die.
I mean, if it's a Danny seed, like today is, something's going to have blaze and it's going to be prominent, and we're just waiting for it to happen.
I did not realize this was a Danny seed.
This is a Danny seed. She rolled this mess.
My sympathies go out to our runners.
We've seen spiders. The spiders don't seem to be doing anything yet, which is rare for her kinds of seeds, but we'll find out.
Operative word there. Yet.
I mean, the worst seed I've ever seen in existence was the Topher with ambushing Gurmadusas of Death that had Blaze and Death Touch and were ultra ambushy. I don't think she rolled that one. So, like, she gets credit for rolling some bad ones, but she doesn't roll every bad one.
Nope. I do not want to see that seed.
That was. If you're interested in that, go back to the Spring Tournament 2019 and watch the match between Will Cleosis and Tristal MTG. That was hilarious.
And yeah, to answer Judicator's question in chat, and it's not a dumb question, Grendy went for only 2 characters because that's his favorite comp, running just a single fighter and a single black mage, and selecting 2 nuns. Whereas Fiend of Pub Session went for the 3-party comp, or 3-person comp, because they both agreed to have 1 nun in the party forced.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, and something else to bear in mind is math. I know we're doing math on Twitch, and I'm sorry to everyone for that, but math is important here. Yes, it's a handicap to take less characters, but, and as Jay Scheidel tells me, no math in chat, I'm sorry, math. But the thing to remember in Final Fantasy games, and I think this holds for every Final Fantasy game in existence, the more party members you have standing up, the less experience you get per character for defeating a pack. It divides it evenly among all your standing party members. Nuns are not standing party members, nor are dead ones. So if you take 2 nuns, that means that all your characters that are standing are getting at least twice as much experience. That's your math lesson for today. Fiend of Obsession means his characters are going to get an extra third, so one and a third times experience from what they would get if there were 4 party members. So in this particular case, you know, he's getting a bonus, but Grendy's getting an even bigger bonus. That said, if Grendy loses a party member, he's gonna feel it.
Very much so, especially early game, because, you know, if, say, bad things happen to the back row black mage, it's going to be left to just that fighter to try and survive and get out. And if it's in a place where there are a lot of bad packs, like, say, sea or ice or marsh sometimes, he's going to have a lot of trouble.
It's implying to me that not only is gear hugely important to him. Bigly important if you want to use a dumb word. But also the fact that he is going to at some point settle in and do basically quote unquote a black belt grind just with this fighter, because he's going to need the levels. But with the right weapon, he can grind pretty well and start grinding early. So it's where is he exactly with this, and what is he thinking? He is going to Crescent, and we're going to see.
Cure 4 rolling at level 6. Kinda not a happy thing to see.
Well, yeah. And also, for Grendy, none of the good white magic spells rolled in the first 3 levels. The best I think we saw for him was in Diz 1. And there's Chime. Woo! There's a possibility that the loose item in Sky could be on the first 2 floors. You could go there right now. Don't go there right now. Don't.
Go there right now. I
Go
dare
for it.
ya.
I mean, if you go there and you survive, you're going to get a ton of experience. Upside. Downside, you have a fighter with no real weapon and a squishy black mage.
Do it.
If
Do
you're
it.
great.
Do it.
Yeah.
Please note, I am also not a good person.
Demon RHK is saying the floater is going to be in Mirage 2 in the what we call greater than less than room. When we get there, you'll see why it's called greater than less than, because the treasures are in the shape of a greater than less than sign.
Yeah, and honestly, in this, like, on this flag set, that's actually one of the rooms I look forward to going to. On other flag sets, I don't like it because it's not exactly the easiest one to get to. But with this set, I mean, you got 10 chests in a relatively close area.
I mean, if that's the play they want to make, it's a bold play, Cotton, but it could pay off. Coover in chat asking, how does running only 2 affect your damage output? Just basic math right there. You have a fighter and a black mage, and you don't have anyone else to do damage. So it's going to slow you down as far as what you can do, while the bosses are going to be able to do more in comparison to how many characters you have. And then if something bad happens to one of your characters, everything relies on the other character to be able to get through the game. So...
And we're seeing Grendy going for that cheeky early ice. Let's
What's
see if he
next on
actually
the list?
survives this. I'm honestly surprised neither of the runners has decided to go to Ordeals yet.
I mean, I would go to Ordeals, but I could see why they're not going to. The spells they have aren't necessarily the best for Ordeals, especially with the undead in there, and, like, beefier undead that may not fall to a Lightning 3. And you don't have warp, so Ordeals isn't easy to cheese there. Now, you don't have warp, so ice isn't going to be easy to cheese. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd still do Ordeals personally. Or maybe just make the cheeky play and go over to Waterfall.
Yeah, I tend to avoid doing Waterfall unless I've actually got the Oxyale, just because I hate going to the on-ramp continent more than once.
I like to do the loop, so if I'm going down for the Ordeals Waterfall quote-unquote full play, I'm going to do one and then I'm going to do the other, whether I have the Oxyale or not. All about proximity. And the thing about a Waterfall is, like, a lot of the monsters in there will fall fairly easily to the Lightning 3 you have. The Nightmares are weak to that Ice 3. Like, the spells you have is it's actually a better complement to Waterfall than the Ordeals or Ice Cave would be.
Yeah, and it looks like Fiend is ducking into fire to, well, looks like probably check the armor.
Money.
But he also,
Money and gear. One thing I want to point out...
found that Too Frosty spike tile, which...
It's doable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, at least one of them fell to just a single nuke.
Yeah, it's totally doable. I mean, if you had some houses or the money to buy some houses, pick up some houses, come back here, you could use that as a grind, and I would grind on that all day, especially when you know that they die to a single nuke. Oh, there's our TNT. You don't even have to go into the rest of the ice if you don't want to. He wants to. Like, at a certain point, your black belt's going to be able to punch them down. That's not bad. I like that. But I was going to say, one thing to point out, when Fiend was exiting that first room, where he first found those Frosties, he walked along the top of the room. For those of you that are new to Final Fantasy and don't know the ins and outs of the game, a wall that has a door in it cannot have encounters in it. So he walked along the top of the room instead of the bottom of the room, and he was forwarding his encounter table because he wasn't walking directly along the wall that had a door in it. Just one of those little things. Oh, there's a house.
Yep.
Yeah, take that out. Save. get some more nukes, come back in, keep killing some Frosties. Or kill one right here, because you're right here. Why not? Frosties all day.
Tasty, tasty Frosties.
Oh, brain freeze. Oh.
Yeah, though these ones look to be more vanilla than a chocolate. Oh, and there's a yummy peed pile.
Yeah, at the level they're at. Oh, and they're dying to a single nuke. At the level they're at, absolutely, I would take Peeds. Once you get above level 15, 16, as they're getting to right here, Peeds stop being quite the mathematical option because you're not going to get a level every turn. But for the start, they're not bad. And Demon RHK pointing out that Frosty tile that actually had Zombie D's here in Ice Cave, they had less than 230-ish health. So that's also a viable monster to kill.
Yeah, that's. Mm-hmm. I've seen much worse. I've done much worse. Don't do what Donnie Don't does, kids.
And
it looks
Fiend
like
kind of stuck on these red gargoyles. They all think they want to let him go.
And it looks like Grendy is going for all of the additional chests in ice because
gear.
Gotta find that gear. Gotta hope for that ribbon. Hope for that masa.
Well, he knows where TNT was. He found it so early. Even if he died, he could even come back in and make the play to get it again. So not the end of the world. But yeah, he's not gonna go check that last trap tile, and I can't blame him for that one because then he'd have to loop the whole dungeon again.
Yeah, that's a trap tile that I generally will avoid. I mean, even I know to do that. That's a pretty basic thing. Yeah, and as for the cursor on Grendy's stream to address a comment in chat, if I could will it away, I would, but that is unfortunately just a part of his stream right now.
I've said something in the race room just in case they'll see it. We won't see him move it for 10 minutes because we're 10 minutes behind, but there's a possibility that he will eventually move it for us. Interestingly, Fiend is actually going to go and explore out more of this dungeon. That, right there, is a bold play, because I don't, even at the mid-teens, I don't feel like his black belt has the levels to take out Carrie.
Yeah, his black belt's still a little too squishy, and I mean, if you don't have the gear on, even Carry 1 can actually hit kind of hard. I mean, that being said, he could also just be going down to the Agama floor to check for those spike tiles.
Yeah, which is fair. Anything past that first floor, though, you then have to walk back out. That's a risky proposition, no matter like what you're doing. The more risk you have of getting killed by something, the greater the chances. Now, ooh, hey, Mudgalls. Ooh, beefy Mudgalls. Not a good grind. I would take those Frosties instead.
Yeah, Frosties look a whole lot more appealing than these things. I mean, they have at least greater than 200 hit points. And yeah, that's not pleasant.
And I mean, they're thawing the Frosties pretty nice. You just pop it in the microwave for a few minutes, set it on high. Nuke.
Yeah, just wait for the ding, and then it's done.
I feel like I need to come up with some set of syllables that match the Hot Pockets theme now.
Frost dragons.
Hey, there you go. You got it. You got it. Well done.
Except for the horrible cracking in my voice.
I mean, they're Hot Pockets. They're horrible anyway.
True point.
Yeah, as Chad is pointing out, Grendy actually went and checked some of the chests in the upper part of floor 2 of Volcano, that armory floor. In this flag set, we almost never see that because there's, no loose incentive item here, so you only check those if you really want the treasure there. Otherwise, there's not much incentive, quote-unquote, to do it.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar, the incentivized locations in this flag set, not Earth, not Volcano, not Marsh-locked.
Adjudicator asking about party comps and what is the quote-unquote normal for speedrunning this game. There's no real normal per, just in general. A lot of that comes down to your preference, but the flags themselves can define what you'd want to do. And I'll get into that in just a second. I want to see how this carry fight goes before we go any further. So one of our red mages is on their knees at 18 health. We saw the black belt got fasted, punched for 57, gets whacked for 217. We're getting a nuke out for 136, punched for another 113, getting that carry slowly down. Another 152. Unfortunately, it does look like this carry rolled a bit high. So we're going to have to see whether or not... Oh, 7 hits for 48. What actually I think they want to see right...
Oh, yeah, 133 finishing her off. Lucky.
I was going to say, you want to see her punch down the black belt because it looks like the red mages are doing more damage, but that works too. Any fight you can get out of with an orb, and that is the fire orb for the Fiend of Obsession, is a win in my book.
26 minutes to the first lit orb for this race. Not a bad time.
No, that's great timing right there. So as far as like parties and party comps are concerned, you tend to generally build around a melee character, Fiend sailing the wrong way. And you build that based on, generally speaking, 2 factors. How good the experience is, showing how quickly you can grind, and how many loose items there are in the dungeons. So what we mean by loose is you can set how many places have incentivized items, and then you can set how many items are incentivized. And if you have more incentivized items than incentivized locations, some of those key items are going to get pushed out into the general pool, making them loose. So if you have more dungeons than incentivized items, you have dud dungeons. Black belts favor not having to check chests. So if you just have dud locations or an even number of locations to items, 0 loose items, that is what we call it, your black belt can work better because you don't have to check anything. Fighters, however, need gear. Black belts do not, and that's the reason why you don't have to check chests with the black belt. So, if you have to check chests, like in a loose item flag set, the fighter is favored. If you don't have to check chests, the black belt is favored. But if experience is low, your black belt's going to take a while to grind, whereas your fighter can get gear, and they don't worry as much about like the power of their punches because everything is pretty much defined by their weapon. So again, if your experience is low, your fighter tends to come out slightly ahead of your black belt. So paying attention to that defines what your melee is going to be. In Final Fantasy Randomizer, the thieves have been improved with a doubled doubled hit rate. And that, plus the fixes that make the fighter or the thief actually run better, and the fact that the thief can learn black magic when they upgrade, makes a thief a viable alternate to the fighter. Still need gear, but can work pretty well at the end game. So then it's just a matter of defining what kind of comp do you like. Do you like one type of mage over another? Are you able to run with one nun or one Dan to kiss the floor kind of monster or character? Those are the kinds of decisions you have to make once you get into the game and decide for yourself. As chat was sharing earlier, Fighter Rainbow is a good starting party. Fighter Thief 2 Mages is a good follow-up party. It just preference at a certain point becomes what you want to do. And thank you for listening to my TED Talk. So I see Grendy killed Carry, and we're back to discussing the game again.
Yeah, and because I was curious, I also started taking a look at the blurs this year. It looks like that black belt rolled a plus 40 agility.
I'd take that.
Yeah,
I mean that's
plus 10 MDef.
Better dodging. I would take that, and the bonus on the MDef there for the black belt is going to help them a lot. So the thing about the black belt is they work best naked. Like it sounds crass, but it's actually literally true. If you put a weapon in their hand, their weapons, the weapon damage is what defines their damage. If they wander around just punching things, their natural strength is what defines their damage. They're better off with, it's not even strength, I guess just their actual levels itself, because everything about the black belt is defined specifically by their level. MDef is the same way. MDef is great for an black belt once you get them past a certain point, because they have just so much MDef, 1 point per level, I believe. A bonus 10 makes them even better. And really, nothing hurts a black belt in Blursings. Everything improves them, more or less.
Yeah, and the additional agility, it's kind of nice. It'll mean
Uh-huh.
that you actually, potentially can run away from things, or you get the option to strike first a little more often, less likely to be ambushed, if I recall correctly.
Just a correction, that's luck.
And this is why I said, if I recall correctly.
Exactly.
I
Agility is as I believe, and I mean, chat can correct me if I'm wrong on this. Agility is going to affect your chance to evade.
Which, hey, plus 40 agility, that's a pretty good bump there.
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
All right, Grandy making the play for Ordeals now. Gonna check and see what's hiding out here.
And you can see Fiend is basically skipping every single treasure chest. He got that TNT, he got out. I don't think we've actually seen what TNT became, unless I missed it.
I don't believe we have either, and broadcast notes don't show anything in there either.
No, I think Grendy sailed straight down from Elfland over to Ordeals because he just wanted to continue collecting things. He knows pretty much every one of these dungeons is going to have something, more than likely, so he's just going to check all of them and then go do his turn-ins afterwards. It might just be a simple matter of, one, proximity, and two, wanting to collect enough stuff that when he sails back to Circle C, he can do all his turn-ins at once. And I mean, that's an efficiency play, and I can respect that.
Yeah, and there's also the potential for just trying to get the key items so that he can get to go mode faster and make his grind a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
As each key item is worth an additional 5% XP, if I recall correctly.
Grendy getting to that first of the 4 pillars in this room and getting the do not pass, go back to start, do not pass go, do not collect $200 pillar. Oof.
I hate when that happens.
There's 2 of them in here too, so you're gonna see it twice potentially. So rude. Oh wow, and despite the zombie Ds having like almost no health, still managed to low roll that nuke. Oh, game.
RNG gonna RNG.
Yup.
At least Grindy has decided not to play the poison sound theme for everyone. Ooh, and there's that another back to start pillar for him after walking all the way to the 4th pillar.
Yeah, when I do this, I have to like say the directions in my head and keep repeating them over and over, like down, up, 2, up, just so I can tell where I am and don't forget. Because all it takes is a couple of back-to-back encounters, and you're sitting there going, "Did I see this room already?" So with Grendy doing Ordeal still, Fiend decided to canoe back to Elfland. And this is something else for the new players that are here and are just learning. When you watched Fiend of Pub Session, he sailed directly along the river tiles and never took a step off when there were grass tiles right nearby. Something to point out, when you step on and off of a river tile, you can't increase your encounter rate, so you can't get a battle. So there, where he like wandered around and did a perpendicular thing across river tiles, no encounters can be had there. That was great. Anytime you can take a step off and then take a step back onto the river tile, do it and try to avoid getting too many encounters. Just a little speed tech for you.
And 34 minutes in, we're running into the bridge boss for the first time.
And defeated him because we've actually nerfed the bridge boss in the recent updates. Okay, so that's TNT becomes herbs. So there's another turn-in to do.
Had to excavate the herbs from underneath those rocks, I guess.
Well, you know, it's and kills the dwarf.
Fiend playing the heel and taking the Hooray Dwarf down.
It was running an underground grow house. He had to.
I can't blame him. I mean, I prefer to take the heel route and end the dwarf because I want to see what he has to say.
What was it? I was going to say something else. I can't remember what. Oh, it was Grendy, I thought, was actually at the stairs. I don't know if he wiped or was it actually as close as I thought he was.
I don't recall either. I don't think he wiped. I don't remember seeing him have to reload, but that could just be my memory.
Wow.
Herb turned it into the adamant.
Long lazy dwarf chain. So I heard you like Dwarf Cave, so we're gonna put Dwarf Cave on top of Dwarf Cave with a little bit of herb in between.
Have a little bit of a detour, and then head right back. That only would have been worse if it had been herb to crystal to dynamite.
I mean, what we need now is we need incentivized dwarf dungeons so they can get like an item that they go out and get like the key to then come back in here to then have to do another turn.
And big find for Grendy. Not that tail. That tail is, I mean, it's nice to see for him.
Yep.
But that ribbon he found right below it.
Yeah. The ribbon is key. That's going to help him with his build out of Fair Deal. Tail's also nice long term as soon as he finds some gear that actually requires it, because he's going to want a class change as soon as he gets the floater, assuming he gets the floater.
Yeah, if this is not a, late floater seed, it's going to be very useful for him. But at this point, it's a thing. Ooh.
That's a tile. So this tells us that we have standard spike tiles on, just shuffled, and Grendy doesn't take it. But that was a single eye tile right there. I would have probably sat on that for a little while. Meanwhile, while Grendy was getting the tail out of Ordeals, we found the key sitting over at the Adamant Turn-In, and that key then led to Canaria, which led to the floater, which is huge. That's going to give Fiend a fair chance of catching up, because he's going to have speed and power now.
Yep, he's got the speed to get around the world without all of those horribly annoying random encounters. And he's just got to find a good grind tile, which if he goes to Ordeals, sees that eye. I mean, it's not the best grind tile, but that's a pretty good one still.
And once again, kids, remember, Canaria Loft exists. Do not last location your floater, because I have now seen it more than once here at Canaria Loft.
Yeah, and also in a long line of things not to do, like I have done, don't forget to talk to Bicky again. Which both of these runners were smart enough to remember to do.
Yeah, after you've killed the pirates, remember to talk to Bicky again. I failed to do that before. That sucks.
38 minutes in, and Fiend is in the air. Where does he go with his newfound freedom?
Marsh Cave. Go to Marsh Cave.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking it too. And it gave me a laugh.
No, he's gonna go do Sarda because he doesn't need the ruby now to go do the Sarda play. He's got a bottle, or should have. Sarda has the Oxyale. Sarda's required.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Fiend has actually picked up the bottle yet.
Nope. I'm trying to remember where Bottle was.
Bottle was in Marsh.
I thought Fiend did Marsh.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing him, run into Marsh and get things. And Tracker doesn't have him with Bottle. So
maybe he didn't. Okay, maybe I'm just misremembering. That's fine.
That's an entirely fair call.
There's a lot going on right now. I cannot be held responsible for my inability to keep up with anything.
So you've got a memory like mine. Steel Trap. Things go in, get mangled, don't come out the same way.
Well, the thing about a Steel Trap is it generally has bars on the side, so everything leaks out.
Eventually it'll come out, and looks like Grendy's starting off that lazy dwarf fetch chain.
Yeah, as chat's reminding me, Duchess for Kaio-sama, our tracker, has been taking notes, and I did check the notes, and it did say Bottle was there. I just thought Fiend had done it already, so that's on me. Grendy, taking the TNT over here, gonna do the herb, then gonna learn that no, you don't have the key. You're gonna feel kind of silly afterwards when you actually go and get the key in a couple, but you don't have it right now.
Oh, both of them going for the kill the dwarf. That's a shocker.
Oh, I always kill the dwarf. If he's in my way, he dies.
And Grendy apparently deciding to hoof it down to
Well, he's parked on the outside. He doesn't want to have to sail up around the peninsula and then in, especially if he's not going to have another turn-in to do. And I mean, we know it's going to just come right back to dwarf. If he was parked on the inside, it'd be faster. Maybe it's a wash. I feel like it probably isn't because he's getting every single encounter in the book right now.
Yeah, this is kind of why I'm not a big fan of the walking. Oh, and there's our Agamatile.
There's another good one. Oh, no. They have Blaze. You're not going to do this.
Yeah. Never mind.
Nope. And they're over 300 health. That's a hard. Oh, they're over 330 health. That's a hard pass right there. Everyone in chat's like, abort. Yeah, no, this is no.
This tile you run screaming from.
I just having a moment there. We're sitting there going, did I really just have to do that? Like, oof.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
And all for a silver dagger. Thanks,
you
game.
stupid dwarves.
The tile was a Blaze Agama for those who are just joining us in chat. That's a hard. He's taking it again.
And the Mad Lad.
There's that Blaze. Say goodbye to those red mages.
This is a risky one. I mean, he's only 19. It's
like there's Frosties at the volcano. Like, you're gonna eat this Blaze every time. I don't get this one.
Yeah,
I know Snorting's safe, but that's 4 punches, and this has got a this has a script no less, and you're not even getting a level every time from it. Bail out, fiend, please bail.
Oh man, the Mad Lad. Yeah, this is in this instance it would be I'm going to run away from this now and never come back.
Never. These Agamas have. Oh god.
Blaze and Thunder Agamas. No. Nope.
No.
Please walk away. It hurts.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, 2 punches now to kill it. That's better. Meanwhile, Grendy getting his floater. I mean, all the action is over here on Fiend's side. This is gutsy as hell. I'm not going to argue that, but
Yep.
Wow.
All it's going to take is the Agama going Blaze, and then instead of Snorting the next round, going Thunder, which, well, actually, no. I'm forgetting Snorting is a skill. Ignore me.
Snorting's a skill, but yeah, it's going to, all it's going to take is 3 punches with 2 high rolls on the spells, killing off his Black Mage. Because, if we saw that Blaze roll over 230, if he has a Thunder that rolls similarly, that Black Mage is kissing dirt.
Well, yeah, Grandy's not talking to that one, though.
Oh, and now he doesn't have any AoE to kill off these packs when he's trying to run from it, and the Black Belt has no run chance.
Yeah, well, this is gonna hurt. I mean, it might not hurt him much, because, they're not hitting that hard, but oof.
His MDEF isn't great, though. All it's going to take is one bad, death casting spell, and the, 3 or 4 minutes he spent there, that's going to be lost.
Yeah, that's not... It's a little bit too high of a risk. Looks like Grandy has found a couple of pieces of Opal gear, and I think he's probably going to want to go promote soon.
And then the Vampire giving another silver dagger, Fiend finding all the daggers to throw. He could juggle now. Hey, look at that.
Well, he's a black belt, though, not a clown.
Oh, this is not... Okay, he got away. Every time he gets a fight, I'm really worried now.
Yeah, this has got me on edge.
Oh god, and Trolls with Trance. He's lucky that didn't hit.
Alright, so who gave the Trolls the house music?
Yeah, something else to bear in mind, worth pointing out. When your character is stunned, the monsters that they're fighting don't care about your absorb at all anymore. They'll just punch straight through everything. So, or your evade or something. So, don't get stunned, because you start taking a lot more damage.
Grandy going for the promotion, getting his papers together, gonna go talk to Boss Bahamut. Hey, can I get a raise?
I don't know, did you do the extra credit curriculum? Apparently I was gonna let you pass.
Yeah, well, I know, but I found this giant rat in the kitchen. Here's its tail. Promote me or I'm going elsewhere, or I'm going out with this.
This is worrying me. Oh,
this ain't good.
No.
Ooh.
And that was what I was worried about. That right there was exactly what I was worried about.
Yeah, hate to see it.
Oof. And now, I mean, that because of the time he spent getting away from stuff afterwards, that's like an 8-minute time loss now?
Ish.
Yeah, like.
Oh man, that hurts. That really hurts to see.
That really hurts. Yeah.
Hopefully he'll not do that Agama grind again.
Please don't do the Agama grind again.
Please, just walk away from the lizards.
Meanwhile, Grendy is just going to sit here and go have a nice visit with the dragons and steal their retirement fund.
Yeah, well, it's dragons. If they didn't want it looted, they should have had it under a massive pile as opposed to just laying around in treasure chests.
You go find a dwarf cave. We have one available. Pile all your treasure in there. Chase the dwarves out, and lurk.
Exactly. You never put it in chests because once it's in a chest, you know it's going to attract adventurers. It's going to attract them like flies.
Oh, that's
my.
Nice. Hello. So, Grendy doesn't need to check much of anything at this point. So here's my thinking. He has a ribbon that he got when he got his tail. He has gold bracelets for cheap, pro rings +4 for cheap, Mazamoon +5 for cheap. Go find a shield in a shop that rolled up, throw all of that on, slap your ribbon on your fighter, you're good to go.
Oh, he's got an opal +3 shield. He's good.
See, you're good to go. You don't have to worry.
The only thing that he could hope for would be for another ribbon to pick or to show up when he's looking for like any of the other incentive items.
Yeah, but I think you just do greed and go. You pick up some ribbons if there's a chest that crosses your path, but you don't go out of the way for it. You're in annihilation mode now. You know where everything's basically got to be. Just go collect your key items, go do your dungeons, get your levels, and get out.
Yep, you don't fall prey to overlooting. Don't do what I do and way overloot.
No. You're in a good place, Grendy. Just get out now.
Yeah, and he pulled out the white shirt too from that ferry, so he's got his Invis 2 casts.
I mean, more than likely, because he's gonna check every key item area. He's probably gonna get the power bonk as well, unless it's lurking in sky and he doesn't check for anything. Between the white shirt and the power bonk, I don't even think he has to worry all that much about spells, honestly. He's just good.
Oh, did he pick up the power bonk already?
It's in the incentive pool. He should find it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, considering he's coming out here to check and see what the Fanish have.
So speaking of that power bonk.
Yeah, speak of the devil.
So at this point, you have fast on your black mage. You don't need to worry about temper, although you already have temper. But in case the black mage dies, temper's fine. You've got white shirt. Sure, if you find the defense sword, you're not going to complain, but you've got your evades, you've got your damage, you've got your spells. I think you're good.
Yeah, now it is find that cube and make some murder.
Yeah, murder times. Get some sashimi going. And he's heading over, I assume, to Waterfall first. And then go do sea afterwards.
Probably. Looks like Fiend going in for that chime play, checking to see if there's any of that tasty free loot on the first couple of floors of Mirage.
The thing is, I wouldn't normally take the Ankylo like Grendy just did right there, but he's only got 2 party members. The Ankylos are actually worth a decent amount.
It's there. You've got a Masa +5.
Oh!
Oh my.
Well, there goes that Ankylo he killed. He got glared through that ribbon. Thanks, game. Unless he doesn't have the ribbon on his fighter.
I think the ribbon is currently sitting pretty on his black mage.
Okay, well that would explain that then. And now everyone's trying to guess where the cube will be. We're pretty much down to it being in a couple of 3 areas, more or less.
Yeah, we've got it either coming from the crystal, we've got it potentially hiding in Waterfall, or in Less Than Greater Than, or Sea, where it could be anywhere in Sea Shrine.
So the nightmares rolled up and are not worth fighting. especially since they're also super evasive.
Yeah, Dodgy Nightmare is dodgy.
Reminder that nightmares actually are weak to Ice 3s, or ice in general, so if you're gonna... Wow, okay. Yeah, it was not a good fight to take.
Yeah, that sounded like, well, I've wasted spell charges on this. I'm out.
Yeah. Reset.
And it looked like Fiend deciding to not check the less than greater than room.
I'm not seeing anything lit up on his tracker to say that he found something on the first floor.
Yeah, I think he found like a pro ring +4 and some, money. I don't recall seeing anything specifically good out of it.
Nothing huge, no. Like, I understand going and doing Sky and thinking I'm behind, I need to go do, like, check these 2 floors and see if there's any... Ow. If we find the Phantom, that's not worth fighting.
Yeah, that is objectively the worst grind tile in the game, or spike tile in the game.
But if you're going to go in there with, if you're going to go into Sky without the cube, you're doing it because you're banking on finding the key item on the first 2 floors. So, oh, ouch. Him leaving without checking the second floor seems a bit curious.
Yeah, and looks like Fiend going, all right, I've got the Oxy Ale. I'm just going to go check this. I don't want to deal with the horrors of Sky right now, it seems.
No. He's going to go do the horrors of Sea instead.
Well, he apparently might have a fear of heights. I don't know.
Not of the deep, though.
Well, or maybe he's craving some fresh fish. Oh, and Grandy getting attacked by a single Ghastly, hoping to ice it down before it knocks out his Black Wizard. See what happens.
Oh, come on.
Survey says he's got it.
Yeah, woo!
And
that's a healthy chunk of experience.
Yeah. Especially since he's so close to the exit.
I know. Yeah, he'll. There we go. I mean, it's Ice 3. That is the spell that they're actually weak to, because most dragons in the game are weak to ice.
And
but
Fiend actually finding that Vorpal +5 on the left side of C-Split. That'll be something useful for the red mages to potentially swing as a backup.
Yeah, you can go in that ice dragon fight if you want to do that. You can take it down to 2 men, swing against that for a little bit until you get enough levels on your black mage or black belt that they can punch them down on their own, and then you can totally just 1 man from there when you finally feel like letting your red mage kiss dirt.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, he'll have to promote to be able to equip the Vorpal, but...
oh, then you're not going to do that. You're right. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was thinking more towards the end game. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I was getting ahead of myself there.
Yeah, I tend to try and keep some backup paranoid strats in mind, because, well, I'm not a little paranoid, but, the CIA has radios in my teeth.
I'm not paranoid. What'd you hear?
Looking like Fiend deciding to also check the mermaid side first, which I can understand because it's got a high chest density, but I don't know how I feel about the play overall when you've got to try and beat down Kraken still too.
Grandy does pick up that Vorpal +5, decides to keep it. I mean, just in case you make a dive on Topher and find out that the Maza is just not packing enough to be able to get through with its crits, then you can actually use the Vorpal instead. I appreciate his thought process there. No harm in keeping it just in case.
Fiend's play paying off double-wise. Found the crystal and another ribbon.
Well, the fact that the crystal is over on that side of the board indicates to me that Grendy is going to look for it over here, spending a little more time than he probably needs to, but he will find some tiles while he's here and can potentially get a good grind if there's something down here. But it also indicates to me that when he goes over to that side to get the crystal, to find out what the crystal becomes, he is going to pick up that ribbon while he's there, because why not?
And Demon RHK wondering in chat what the crit rate difference between a Masa +5 and a Vorpal +5 is. And whilst I don't know the numbers, I know it's really high versus super really high. That's about as much as I can tell you on that.
Yeah, one of our, I think it's Shadowed, has made a chart that we have pinned in the Duckling area on our Discord. And if you're interested in this game, we do invite you to come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, where you can find not only the randomizer itself, but also links to the Discord and the development Discord right there. The chart, I believe, will indicate it, but the vanilla Vorpal has a higher crit rate than the vanilla Mazza. So since both of our weapons rolled up to +5, they're both going to have, again, basically the same vanilla comparison right there. It's better, but Mazza overall has better damage. So you have to bank on whether you can get through or if you need the crit rates to get through, essentially.
Yeah, at that point, it's more of the judgment of, do I want to hit harder and crit less often, or do I want to run the risk of hitting less hard but critting more often?
Which is the concern. And I know there's been a whole discussion in Discord that I didn't understand because it sounded like a voodoo math. But essentially, crits are important against a high absorb, high evade boss. But the exact reason why is something that's so esoteric I've never been able to follow it. Just, if you find a boss that has high absorb, high evade, you want to use the Vorpal. Otherwise, use the Muscle. Yeah, and as Jay Scheidel in chat is saying, crit chance for Vorpal is over double of the Mazamoon, but Mazza has double the raw damage, so you're trading one for the other.
Yeah, overall, I personally would prefer the Mazza just because I like the steady damage rather than the peaky damage of the Vorpal. Of course, that's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Do not do what Donnie Don't does.
I'll go into... There's a whole list of weapons that can qualify as a quote-unquote endgame sword from... And that doesn't even count the katana, which is basically a Vorpal, like a 1.5 Vorpal duct taped together, essentially is what the math on them says. But like Mazamoon, and then Excal, and then you have like Defense Sword and Vorpal, and like Bane and Sun Sword, almost essentially in that order. And if you get any of the top 3, you're golden. If you have to settle for the other ones, you can. But it's really at that point you're trying to figure out like what you can settle for or what you're gonna need. And both of our characters are fighting Kraken, and Grandy has them down.
Yeah, Kraken doing Kraken things and going, oh, look, that looks like a magic user. I'm gonna beat that thing now.
I mean, in all honesty, I'd rather him kill my one black mage so that my fighter can swing twice and kill him.
That's a good point. It's just, Kraken doing Kraken things.
Now, Fiend also kills Kraken. Fiend gets the water crystal lit, and they only have one more dungeon to do. They're really just searching for that cube so that they can get their dungeon taken care of and get their last orb and be ready to go whenever they've done their grind.
And Fiend is just going to get the crown out of, Waterfall here.
Well, he's going to kiss dirt first. He doesn't have the raw damage to... Please tell me you saved.
I hope he did. I really hope he did.
Well, he has 2 red mages kissing dirt, so I'm assuming he did?
It looks like he did. Now, will he remember to pop a house when he steps outside?
No.
Pop a house, dude. That's better.
There you go. Yeah, he's got 3 orbs. He's good. He's good. Okay. Always a concern.
Grandy having to make the hard choice of like, okay, what do I want to drop to get rid of to actually pick up this new gear?
Yeah, he stopped and picked up the Aegis -3. It's not going to have the defense of that fire +4 or the Opal +3 that he was carrying, but Aegis protects against like poison damage or something else. So yeah,
Aegis is poison, and Opal is lightning.
Lightning, and fire is of course ice.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's wearing for body armor. Stopping to turn the Bubble Mermaid into Bubbles as well, because she got in the way. Don't get in the way, mermaids.
There's that ribbon he was looking for. I think Grendy... Okay, we can look at it right now. He's wearing some fancy jewelry and some fishnet stockings, basically. No, he's got a gold bracelet on, ribbon, opal shield that didn't even roll up, and now that ribbon. And that's not a bad build-out. I probably would actually personally slap the, with that ribbon on, because ribbon protects against basically everything. I'd slap the flame shield on over the opal, because the flame rolled up, but that's just personal preference.
Yeah, I don't remember how much the flame rolled up, though, and the opal has a pretty high absorb by default. It's, I believe, 16 absorb just at straight level.
Yeah, I know it's got. I think it's slightly more absorbed than the fire shield, but when the fire shield rolls up and the opal didn't, then fire shield's the way to go.
Yeah, I think the default for fire shield is 12. So if the fire shield rolled like a +3, +4, yeah, I would go for that then as well.
Mm-hmm. Grendy gonna continue doing his turn-ins. He has that crown to take in. He has the crystal to take in. He's going to do all of this that he can. And there's the cube. So now he just needs the loot. Which presumably comes in off of... loot. Yeah, he just needs the loot. So that's going to come in off of a quest chain on either Matoya, or it's going to be lurking over in Sky, but not on the first floor. We know that much.
I'm pretty sure... Well, let me see here, because it's... Yeah, because Matoya is either going to lead to the loot or to the Ruby variant, which who knows what that's going to be.
Ruby's nothing, because Titan isn't incentivized.
Well, no, but he's got to pick up the Ruby still, or could pick up the Ruby still
he
from...
could. Well, it's yeah. If Crystal is loot, then Ruby is loose in Sky, and you can just skip it. But if Crystal is Ruby, then you have to go digging in Sky to get the loot.
Fiend of Obsession getting the excuse me, looks like getting out of the waterfall without having to deal with the
Alexia killed the Phantom. Yeah. So what is it you got, Maddie? What are you sitting on? Maddie has the Marumba. That would be our loot. We have the multi-instrumentalist Sarah flag that changes the loot into a number of different instruments. Grendy has his loot. Grendy is in Go. However many chests he checks in Sky is entirely up to him.
And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't check any of them. You've got the Masa, you've got two ribbons. Just run.
Yep. I mean, it's only if he feels like a gold bracelet isn't good enough armor for a fighter. The gold bracelet's good enough armor for a fighter. Just go with it.
It's good enough for government work. It doesn't have to be any much better than that. I mean, that's a 20 absorb right there.
Haha, Glance can't do anything to me now.
Fie on you and your glance. You have no effect on me. Ha ha!
Mom, he's looking at me funny. You've got a ribbon, you're fine. And now Grendy is basically killing every pack that's worthwhile, which, in Sky, is essentially every pack.
They're all full of XP and or loot.
Oh, and Great JLo's in chat saying that he'd actually passed up the Ice Armor +4 that technically would have been stronger than the Gold Bracelet if Grendy knew that. Presumably Grendy knows that, so he's fine with the Gold Bracelet.
Yeah, and he's just skipping past the less than greater than room, which I cannot blame him for.
Nope. So we're not going to see the greater than less than room. Just trust us, it's treasure chests in the set shape of a greater than and less than sign.
Just chugging down all those healing potions now, and see how quickly he gets through Sky, and see if he runs into Warmac.
So at this point, Fiend has finished up his waterfall. He's got to decide where he wants to go next. He only needs one more dungeon to do, so whatever he decides to do, he just needs to get that cube and that loot, and he's good to go. Meanwhile, Grendy still will have to do Earth Cave after this, but in all honesty, especially at the levels that he's picking up here, Earth Cave is not going to be terribly difficult.
At this point, Earth Cave is mostly just going to be an annoyance, as you have to like run from the annoying enemies that will pop up and probably start running from you immediately too.
Yeah, he's got the levels. They should be running from him now. Getting the rock golf pack to kill the rock golf pack, because why not?
Because once again, they are full of XP and or loot.
Delicious, delicious XP. Of note, you can't quad X golems. Anything that's technically not alive cannot be quad X'd. So things like the undead, slimes, golems, those kinds of things cannot be quad X'd.
If it's a thing, it's not going to die to that. It looks like he's going to check the high-density chests over on the left, though.
Interesting.
Or right, at least.
I'm not sure what he could be looking for at this point.
Dragon armor, opal armor, maybe the opal Cheerio. That's about all I could think of.
So, Roho Vision in chat asking about pulling up a map and how best to do that. I mean, you can do like... Oh, I think he was joking because people are writing backwards and I'm dumb and I didn't read all that. And never mind, I didn't say anything.
I didn't hear nothing.
What? No, I didn't say anything. This is what I get for actually reading chat instead of just ignoring them throughout the entire time that I'm babbling here.
I do wonder what he is looking for, though, because... I mean,
yeah.
No.
I don't know. Not the mage staff.
Yeah, just... Fly, you fool, fly! And to answer Jay Shadow's question, he's actually got 2 ribbons already.
Yeah, he's got 2 ribbons. He didn't even care about ice armor +4. He's got a Masamune +5 and a Vorpal +5. What more do you want, dude?
All right, let's see your best hopes for Warmech now, because here he comes to the Bridge of Destiny. Or, depending upon how bad your encounter rate is, the Bridge of Density.
Well, if you're taking that mage staff, you could have killed these slimes easy. But
yeah, or you just burn a high-level spell and try and, you know...
Ooh, blue steak. Gonna get him some of that T-bone right there. Delicious.
Nom nom nom.
Nom. Level 26 for that black belt. Not bad. Like, I'm kind of wondering what level Fiend is thinking of taking, because aside from that Agama grind that in the long run didn't work out, he hasn't really ground.
And it looks like Grendy got lucky and avoided the Warmech.
Mazza +5 is sick. 1 fast and he's already doing like 1,000 damage. Mazza +5 is sick.
Sweet Christmas.
I know, right?
I thought I saw Tiamat there. Then I blinked and it was gone.
Oh my god, that was... Okay, now he's going... Grendy, there's nothing... You're in go mode. You don't need to do anything. You're good. Grendy, go. Go, Grendy.
Less faffing about, more murdering.
I mean, he's getting good packs. Maybe he doesn't like his levels. And he wants the defense sword, maybe? I don't know. This is weird.
I can agree with hunting the defense sword, but...
You got the white shirt. Like, yes, but no.
The only thing with the white shirt is, then you have to remove one of your pieces of gear, or one of your pieces of armor to hold it, and...
Still. Like, I don't know that I agree with this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, good. He's just like, no, I didn't find it here. Resets out, and probably just gonna go stomp Earth right now.
And now we have chat just talking in Japanese because we were talking about going backwards, and they've wandered down a rabbit hole, so...
It's kind of like my thought process goes sometimes. Yeah. It's like, look, something shiny, and I'm off.
We need a development flag that actually makes the greater than less than room actually have the symbols in the correct order.
That would be, yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Devs, get on that. So Grandy is here in Earth Cave, Fiend is in Air Cave. As soon as Fiend finishes Air Cave, they're technically in Go mode. They just, have to decide what they're doing.
Yeah, it's more grind and go mode for him, I would think.
Yep. Grendy is in Grendy mode, whatever that means for Grendy at this point. But he can go whenever he wants. Chat giving me crap for calling it Air Cave. I will say whatever element I want for that. We are in Ground Palace right now.
Air House.
They went to Kraken's dungeon. They fought him in the sea cabin. Okay.
And yeah, Asher, sentries should be immune to Quad X because, well, they're robots. They are not alive.
But I don't think that applies to Warmech. I think you can Quad X Warmech.
If you've tweaked with the power word thresholds, yeah, I can imagine that.
Well, I mean, if you got Warmech down far enough that they were in Quad X range, whatever it may be, I think they can be Quad X'd.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And Grandy going for the Earth Armory as well. And yeah, he's hardcore hoping for that defense sword, wherever the heck it is.
Yeah. Defense or a rolled up dragon armor or something. I don't know. This is still weird to me. Flame armor. Not going to take it. No defense for you. Nice way to save some steps. Warps out, comes back. We've got a Warmech. We've got a Warmech.
All hail the robot chicken.
And he's gonna try and take it. Bold move. These are the levels he needs right here, though.
All right, nuke for 200 something. 4 hits for 74 damage. Another nuke for 171 damage.
Yeah, he's already gonna start running. He's like, no.
Let me see.
And
he's
away.
Out of there.
Oh, there's chat suggesting calling the Ice Cave Ice Kano, and I gotta tell you, I like that. I'm gonna add that to my repertoire.
That's actually a whole lot more. That's a lot more interesting sounding than Ice Cave.
Nice ring to it. Yeah, I like that.
It feels good in the mouth.
It does. Anyway, we've got these fire hydrants that we're dealing with right now. Fiend getting some more experience off of them.
And it looks like Grandy found the Opal Cheerio +1 there. Let's see if he's... Yeah, it looks like he's going to...
Yeah, that's worthwhile. That's definitely worth it. Remember to equip it. Thank you. So yeah, another pack of fire hydrants down for Fiend. That gets him to level 28 on his black belt.
Grandy running into a mostly giant encounter. Because for some reason, the tiny little imps are classified as giants. They're the tiniest giants.
Andre, the littlest giant.
I'm just very small for a giant.
I'll grow into my title.
And Grandy coming up on Lich, and Lich doesn't even get a chance to do anything before it is absolutely stomped.
What I find funny, though, is that Grandy was doing 1,000 damage against Tiamat with that Mazza. Can't kill Lich in a single hit.
Yeah, that is a little bit
yeah,
disconcerting.
Rolled up.
Oh, forgetting that he can't learn Ruse with that knight because it's in a white mage learnable slot only.
Slot 2?
Slot 4.
Oh, ouch. I always forget that on level 3, the slot 4 is unavailable to a fighter. I would have kind of made the same mistake, honestly.
No, so would I. I cannot remember which ones are not learnable most of the time.
But with that, Fiend of Obsession has killed off Tiamat and is in go mode whenever he wants to be, and gonna go buy some heal pots.
Realizing, oh wait, I'm low on drinks.
This, he doesn't have the Mazamoon, because he didn't check the Sardia Cardia, whatever they're called. I'm getting my syllables confused because it's past midnight.
It didn't check the Dragon Islands.
He didn't check Dragon Island. Yes, thank you. The Dragon Age timeshares. So he doesn't have Masamune. So his black belt is gonna have to go in with fists. And
he might make to 23 on his way, or not 23, 32 on his way there.
Yeah, but this is gonna be tight. I mean, he's gotta. I don't even know if he has life on his red mages.
I don't believe so.
So this is real sketch. This is the kind of equipment and spell loadout where I'm sitting there going, you know what? I'm grinding to 42.
Yeah, looking at our wonderful tracker notes, thank you again to Duchess First Kaiosama for that. Life does not look like a thing.
So it's probably level 7 or level 8, and we didn't see it. Which, with his red mages, he wouldn't have gotten it. Grendy making his way down, should be within spitting distance now of the earth floor, and there we are. And Fiend is hot on his tail. Honestly, even though Grendy has one less character in his party, I feel like he has the advantage.
Yeah, that being said, Topher gonna Topher.
Totally.
So we'll see what happens.
Gurmedusa's rolled up. Question from Chad Bird about whether or not there was a decent grind somewhere. We saw Red D's in C. We saw Frost D's over in Volcano, making it, as we were saying earlier, an Ice Kano.
There was the I in Ordeals.
Yeah, like there were some decent. It's all A-side tiles. We don't have the more lucrative B-side tiles because the C decided to flip that coin and flip poorly.
There was the single Agama tile, which was a very, very rude Agama.
No, you want to talk about rude? Earth Elementals just destroyed that fighter right there. I don't even know if that was Death Touch or what, but he fell over hard.
And it looks like Fiend also not going for the validation chests.
Demon RHK calling it the Aga No tile, because yeah, Blaze and Thunder on them. That's a hard pass.
Yeah, that tile was a big fat ball of nope.
No. Everyone was shouting abort in chat. We all agreed. Hard pass. I think I'll go take something easier like Warmech.
Yeah. That
checks out.
I think I'll go beat on an easier tile, like, I don't know, Chaos.
I'm interested in something a little more lucrative. I'll go fight the Phantom.
Ooh, that hurt.
That cut you real deep right there.
That one stings.
So Fiend is in the lead right now, although this is Topher, so it's anyone's game in all honesty. Grendy has taken every fight he can because he knows he needs, with the two-man party, every level he can get. But Fiend is going to be the first to show us many of the dangers that are lurking here at this point, because Grendy didn't actually make it to Lich.
Yep, let's see if Lich rolled Rude or if Lich rolled Speed Bump. And yeah, J-Lo, as you said, you know, if thinking if Fiend had been 32, he could have taken Warmech. I heartily agree with that. It would have been a little bit of a tougher fight, but he could have done it, and that would have been a big fat bomb of XP.
Probably would have taken him with the three-man party to 34 if they all stood up. If not, may have gotten 35, 36 off of it. Would have been worth it.
It would have been very well worth it.
Yeah.
And Fiend running into those rude little Earth Elementals, deciding to try and nuke him, and then running away after he didn't take him down.
Well, they're ambushy, and they hit hard. So I can see why his characters went, oh, he got out. Good. Gotta say. Oh, he also, interesting to note, you may notice that Grendy has his heal pots on the bottom of his screen. I believe Fiend has them at the top. We have a flag called Auto Sort Inventory that's turned on by default, basically, at this point, especially in this flag set. And Grendy decided to renounce that.
Going for the old school play. All right, and Fiend hitting up. Oh, Fiend realizing that Lich 2 rolled damage poison.
Rough for him because he only has, I think, 2 ribbons for his 3 characters. Better for Grendy because he has 2 ribbons for his 2 characters. So that works.
And they've got both. Are there?
Oh god!
Wow, almost
Chonk.
Simultaneous.
Chonk against that, and now Grendy is actually technically in the league. Get away from these. You don't know how bad these could be. Get away.
Yeah, and he was just. Oh my. So Firefloor going, hey, you know those Agamas that you didn't deal with? Here they are.
The thing I'm thinking is Firefloor saying, hey, you know what? Let's have some fire.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Fire?
These Agamas do not stop. They're like, blaze! That's almost like they're American gladiators. Blaze!
Yeah.
Thank you for laughing at that.
Yeah, and Fiend realizing, oh god, more
no.
Agamas.
Oh god, no. Oh god. Oh no!
Is he gonna try and get out?
You gotta heal to full on this floor after every encounter.
Yeah. Oh, down goes Grendy.
Oh, angry resets! So angry! I feel that, dude. I feel that.
Yeah, that hurt.
I mean, it used to be we'd see things like that. Like if you play Zelda: A Link to the Past, you do like rage bombing, and some other things like that, rage swiping in some games and so forth. We don't have a lot of being able to just rage, except for like mash your keys for a bit and take some extra steps. I think rage resetting that is my new rage mode here for Final Fantasy. That's fair.
Yeah, reset, and Fiend taking out Carrie, but not until after Carrie dropped that black belt.
Yeah, I don't know what his plan is here. Oh, and these guys have mute touch, so yeah.
Hope and pray? Yeah, and that's
it's gotta be an information play.
Yeah, just run and hope you can discover anything useful.
Because he didn't class change, so he doesn't even have a Vorpal to use here, and we know he doesn't have a Muslim. So there's like no hope of getting through this.
Go for the Bane. You know you wanna. Oh, and Chadbert pointing out that the black belt had a ribbon and nothing else, which
doesn't work.
So grand. Yeah, because that means that your black belt can have an absorb of 1.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were commenting earlier about the fact that the black belt works better naked, and that applies to everything that the black belt is doing. The thing about the black belt is, if you keep all equipment off of them, then their defense is based on their level. So at 28, his black belt has 28 absorb. The second you put a piece of equipment on them, even just a 1-point ribbon, suddenly their defense is based on the amount of equipment they're wearing. So his defense went from 28 to 1.
Yeah, remember kids, a naked black belt is a living black belt.
Unfortunately, Grendy has lost his black mage, but he did make it through the fire floor, which I think is the better accomplishment right there.
He survived that level of, pain.
Hell, yeah.
We'll see how he deals with Kraken here, or if he's just doing this as a informational run as well. And welcome, Apex Corvid. Thanks for the raid with a party of the 8.
Got Glances and Sleeps coming out from this ambush pack, and a Lightning 3. Well, he gets out. That's good. And
Lucky.
meanwhile, Fiend is checking the treasure chest. I think looking for spike tiles he can fight.
Fiend deciding, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, we know that the Frosties are killable.
Don't go back to the Agama. Please don't go back to the Agama.
You saw the Frosties. They're so much kinder. Okay. Wow, this seafood party pack does not want to let go of this knight. It's not doing a ton of damage, but it just does not want to let him go.
All right, Fiend going back to the fires. I can deal with that. The fires do not hurt as much as those angry, painful Agamas.
They hurt, but not as much.
Yeah, they're not casting blaze at you every time you see them.
Looks like Grendy is tired of the spells that the sea trolls were throwing out. It's going to kill them off and then maybe try and run again afterwards.
Oh, and cremating lobsters as well, taking vengeance for the lobstery brethren.
Gonna go kill that too, I think. Now, does he try running? Nope, he's gonna just kill everything. Okay.
At this point, I think this has become a spite fight.
Yep. Spite fight!
Yep. You have annoyed me enough. It is time to die.
I'll sit here and spend 3 minutes fighting you. The spite is worth it.
I don't care if you're not worth the XP. You need to die.
I mean, he's got a full complement, basically, of key items, and only one character standing. Any EXP is going to be a ton. That's 15 grand right there.
And holy crap. And yeah, Jay Shadell pointing out, yeah, he might just be holding A for a mental break. You know, just hold A and break. Yeah.
Can't blame him.
I will admit I've done that before as well, especially when I've been annoyed by a fight.
Now he has to decide what he wants to put on instead of that white shirt, because I think he's gonna. I mean, I don't think he survives long enough to use the white shirt. In all honesty,
I would have honestly started with the white shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he mismenued.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh yeah, look at that.
2 points of damage.
Chonk.
And down he goes again.
Oh. I think this is a set the controller down for a second and step away. See, thing is, okay.
Deep cleansing breath.
Okay.
Loud yelling scream.
Asher in chat saying exactly what I was about to say. You've done 3 bounces off of this at this point. You know what Carrie has, and she's gross. You know what Kraken has, and they're gross. At this point, what you are needing is levels. And I don't care if that means sitting on a Frost D tile and just grinding to 42. You need levels. And I think mid-30s, low 40s, even for this fighter set, that might just be the way to go right now.
Yeah, they both need to drink some more tasty XP. By XP, I mean blood of enemies.
Yeah, they have to feed from the buffet of accomplishment here.
And it looks like Fiend is doing all right with that fire grind. Giving the black belt some gold bracelet and that ribbon again.
I mean, I gotta see what his levels are. Let's find out what his levels are, and then I'll judge this. And we'll also keep an eye on Grendy to see what happens with this dive this time. Level 32. 32's nice.
That's a good
32 number. With the bracelet and the ribbon, I think that's... Because the bracelet's vanilla, I think technically he's getting better defense off of that than he is off of his natural, but another couple levels he won't.
Let's see. The ribbon was a core. I'm trying to remember if the ribbon is a plus or just a straight, but the gold bracelet is 20, the ribbon is 1, so he's not getting that great of absorb from him. But
okay, I must be thinking I thought the gold was better than that, so that's just on me.
Yeah, no, but that being said, he does get the elemental defense from the ribbon, so I can understand that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're getting confirmation that the gold is 24, the ribbon is 1 by default. So yeah, the thing is, yeah, you're gonna get the magic defense, but once you get your black belt up high enough, like mid 30s or so, your magic defense is to the point where because you gotta remember it's times 4, because you get 4 points of magic defense per level of a black belt. They're practically at ribbon level at that point anyway. So.
Yeah, but whilst he's still grinding up to that point, I can agree with having some armor on. But that being said, once he's done with the grind, now you take that stuff right off.
Take that off and just go to 42. 42 at a minimum. And I mean, if you're really mad at this Topher at this point, 50.
If you can find a good tile for it, you know, if you want to do the spike grind.
He's got the tile right here. Double fire elementals that aren't hitting too hard. This is a good enough tile.
He's getting about 4,000 XP or so per.
Yeah. Well, when he can get 2 of them. Well, even 3,000 right there off of just 1.
All right. Numbers are hard then. And
math is hard. Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
The Barbie reference. Sorry, everyone.
Simpsons reference.
Oh, both. It was actually from a Barbie doll too.
I remember the Simpsons making reference to that Barbie doll, but you know, I'm showing my age.
Well, the important thing, and this is the tale I've heard, that it could just be apocryphal at this point, but I heard this way back in the day, is that the talking Barbie dolls came out around the same time as the tall talking G.I. Joes, and there was a misfire at the plant, and some of the voice boxes switched. So you had, like, G.I. Joes wandering around going, math is hard, let's go shopping. And then you had Barbie dolls that were like, hit the deck!
That warms my black little heart.
I know, right?
Oh, and Grendy just laying into carry there. 10 hits for 1241, and down she goes again. Coming through with both the Knight and the Black Mage alive. Let's see if he makes it to Kraken 2.
That Kraken is the problem right there, and I think we found our gatekeeper, because he's about 50-50 punch versus magic, and when he punches, he punches.
Yeah, the calamari hits back, and it hits hard.
You feel that right in your guts. You know there was something off about that fish. Can I send this back? Can I get the soup instead?
Can I get anything else? This my calamari's hitting me.
Check, please.
I'm gonna have to explain this to my work tomorrow. There's gonna be questions.
I feel like now we have to just make other Spaceballs references.
Comb the desert.
I'm not quoting the rest of that line.
Yeah.
You all know that line. I'm not quoting it. We're moving on.
You say degenerated into Spaceballs, like going into Spaceballs is a bad thing.
Chad apparently just doesn't appreciate our quote humor.
Oh, heathens.
What else are we supposed to do? We're watching, like, Topher for the 4th time now.
Oh, and down goes the Knight to Kraken.
Yeah, that's a well, see, that's what I was worried about, and you don't have the nuke power. Yeah, see, Grendy, you need levels.
Yep, and Fiend
there, he's got it.
He's got it a bit. Let's see how his dive goes.
I really feel like he should have. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's hard to pull away when you're at the last dungeon. You feel the pressure on the back of your neck because you know the other player's there. But I really feel like he should have pulled away a wipe or two ago.
Yeah, looks like Grandy going for that steak and wings tile.
And see, here's the thing.
Encounter.
I did this twice in my play. I recommend this if you know, especially if you know that there are early encounters on the table. And so, for the new players that we're watching, let me give another explanation here while we're watching this. The Final Fantasy encounter table, and this is from the vanilla game, is set. If you play the game, you'll get encounters in the exact same order every time. You'll just have to watch, and you can say, and like, I take 8 steps now or something, I get an encounter. I take 10 more steps, I get an encounter. It's like that. If you push reset, soft reset, you can skip the encounter that you're on and move on to the next encounter. If you push hard reset, you go back to the start of the encounter table. They saw that there were 2 encounters early in the table, because we saw those 2 imps, and I mentioned those for a reason. Grendy saw that, and sees that on the first encounter of the encounter table, he gets a T-bone steak. That's what we call our blue steaks. He's going to save. He will do either a hard or a soft reset, and he does a soft reset and gets the steak and wings platter. That's what we call the Tyro with the whip. We have cute names for these things. So that like, I like coming over here to Sky, because Sky has 4 encounter zones right around the top of the tower, and most of them are worth a decent amount of experience. You get that Tyro, you get that T-Rex, hard reset, you do it again. I think he's even like digging further into the encounter table because there's more good dinosaurs here. He's just going to take this for all it's worth. And now he only has 1 character left standing, so 14 grand. He's going to get like a level per T-bone steak.
All right, and Fiend coming back to the speed bump and about ready to enter the, well, hell floor.
He's at 42. He's 42? His health is really low for 42. He must have rolled some bad vitality.
Man, at this point, I wouldn't even bother casting spells with that. I would just maul Lich. Just go down A and let it happen.
BB is 38. Surprised he's only around 700, but I don't have like the health of the black belt memorized. I just go to a high level and figure I have enough. So, Fiend is in power of position right now because he's in Topher. He's got a 38 black belt, and all he has to do is hold A and punch everything.
Yeah, maybe cast fast temper if he can, but you know, it's the smart move, moving up the meat shield.
Save. Throw a house. Please throw a house. Please throw a house, Grendy. You don't have houses. Okay. Well, heal. Yeah, the one thing I would recommend if you're going to do a Sky play like this, to do the outdoor grind on your early encounters, is buy a stack of houses. Because that's a house will, and the corrected randomizer will heal you to full when you use it. So just pop houses like they're candy, like they're spitting out of the neck of a Pez dispenser.
Yep, and Fiend almost through this hell floor, almost there, not quite. This is his second set of these.
This is a hell floor. I agree with that.
Yeah, this is
gross.
This floor hurts.
It's just those Agamas are absolutely disgusting. Temper, punch, fast. Black belt gonna do work. Already gets the temper off. There goes a red mage. We're down to 2 characters for the rest of this. Fast goes off.
59 points damage to that red mage, and returned with 1992 damage to carry. That's
a good year, let me tell you.
That's got a sting.
Yeah. Well, ow. Just ow. Like, even if he'd healed up the red mage the rest of the way, it wasn't going to matter. That red mage was a meat shield.
A ablative meat shield. It's just there to take the hit, and
yep.
Yep.
Would not be surprised if the next red mage does the same thing. Grendy's still grinding. It's not that we're ignoring him, it's just there's not that much to say right now. Goes to 40, decides that's good enough, flies away. I'd agree, 40 is probably good enough for that fighter. Like,
especially swinging that Masa +5.
Yeah.
Just gotta, bring back his partner Black Mage, probably top off on some heal pots, and then ram his face into the wall that has been Topher again.
The wall that is cracking. Now, interestingly, Fiend does actually have the black belt up front. That's bold. And that's the reason why. 344 damage. That, didn't get a ton of crits. If it had crit harder, I have a feeling that Kraken could have killed that black belt.
Yeah, he got a lucky roll there, but you know
He
what?
did.
Better lucky than good. Well, better lucky and good.
Let's
you
do
know.
both. It's like that saying, go big or go home. Why not both?
All right, here is our Tia 2 look. Let's see what we get. We got a fast on the black belt. Black belt punch for 6 hits at 38 points of damage. Ooh, zap right out of Tia. No nuke yet. No nuke yet. Temper, then nuke. Oh, or not.
Tia's
13
gone.
hits for
That's better.
1159.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, that's the power of this black belt. Is just you hold A, you let it punch. He's got the power. He can do whatever he wants, basically. And now it's time for Chaos.
You, Meat Shield, go up and absorb the first couple of hits, potentially.
Hey, Red Mage, Chaos is going to go for the back line. Trust me. Stand up front. It's fine. No one will notice.
All right, fast on the black belt. Fast gets off first. Nice done. Punch. 10 hits for 482 points of damage.
Lower than I expected, but Chaos apparently can get some absorb.
Yeah. Oh, good turn order still.
Well, say goodbye to the Blade of Meat Shield.
12 hits for 11-12. Blaze.
Chaos putting on his best Agama impression, and then that's that.
It.
Yep.
Fiend of Obsession. Get your GGs out.
Official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 10 seconds. Fiend of Obsession in his first race that we know of on a broadcast partner has won. GG's to Fiend. So we're gonna stick with Grendy for right now because he's on this dive. We're gonna see how this dive goes, and then we will bring them in for interviews afterwards. Like, see however Grendy goes. We want to let Grendy's play out, just in case, because he's got a 40th night. So if it goes, it goes.
Yeah, a level 40 knight with that Masa +5. I expect him to be done very soon.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, instead of like pulling in Fiend right now and maybe having to like stop partway into a 2-minute interview, let's just see how this plays out first. Because I mean, if it was me, I have to say, if I went to 40 and then Chaos just destroyed me again, or Kraken just destroyed me again, I'd be going, yeah, I'm forfeiting now that my other person is finished.
Yeah, I've seen it done. I am noping out of here.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna take my Agama advice and bail. Hellfloor. Wow, the Agamas are just everywhere here.
Hey, yo, we heard you liked Agamas. How do you like these Agamas?
Guys always kill us. We'll show you.
It is time for the vengeance of all of our ancestors.
Here's an Agama. Oh god, 1,500 of us.
Hey, Carrie, hold still. We're going to see how small we can chop you up. Okay.
I was going to say, though, here's an Agama fact you didn't see coming. Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah. Agama fact. Agamas have genetic memory, and they will get their vengeance. All right, let's see how Kraken 2 treats him. Is Kraken 2 going to do Kraken 2 things and take out that Black Mage because the Black Mage dare exist? Or is Kraken 2 going to die horribly?
I vote die horribly. Let's find out.
Well,
okay, good armor.
Yeah, didn't back row the Black Mage. That's the thing.
Oh.
All right, well, at least now we've got Calamari rings, because there's no way that thing is not in just pieces after that hit.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, we say that the Black Belt is basically a freight train. But when you put a Masamune, even just a normal Masamune, in a fighter's hands and let the fighter have Black Belt levels, the fighter is a freight train. Like, they're both freight trains. You just need to put something in the hands of one of them to make it happen.
Yeah, one of them is a freight train by default. The other one is a freight train with equipment.
With like a snowplow blade on the edge of it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Tia 2 just going. Tia 2 was not really frightening at all, it seems.
No.
stopping to make sure he's got those last little bits of heal, and here comes Grendy into Chaos.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a Mazza +5, so it's like the Mazza is sick. The Mazza +5 is extra sick.
Wow, 6 hits for only 264 points of damage.
Yeah, well, he'll start tempering. That's gonna go. Oh, there you go. He just didn't get any crits. Yeah.
So we've
2
seen a
to
fire
3 more big hits.
Yeah, we've seen a fire 2 and a lit fire 3 and a lit 2 out of Chaos, and then another lit 2. This is Chaos is something. Oh my goodness, there's the big hit. 9 hits for 1567. Get your GGs out in chat for Grendy.
That is an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, 6 seconds. GG's to Grendy. I'm going to try and get them both in for an interview now. We are joined in chat, hopefully they're here with us, by Fiend of Pub Session, our winner from this race. GG's, Fiend.
Yeah, very well played, man.
Fiend, there you go.
Had my Twitch going, sorry for that.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, that was an interesting Topher. Got one shot by Carrie, that was fun.
Yeah, that Topher was kind of mean.
Yeah,
Staying up late commentating this.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. Hey, you were gonna say?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Fiend of Pub Session, how did you feel about seeing the fire floor with all of those Agmas again?
That was not a smart grind, but I had committed to it, so I did it, and then I thought I got away with it, and I didn't. But that's what happens when you take a bad grind.
If you go back and watch the VOD, you're gonna see us going, no, don't do it, don't, and then all of chat's like yelling at you as well. It was, I mean, we felt for you on it, and then when we saw that basically the entire fire floor was all Agamas in Temple of Fiends, like you had the knowledge at least.
Yeah, I never saw Thunder again though. When I saw Thunder on the grind, I just almost laughed. But
yeah. That was the Agamas came to play today.
You like my lucky rolls though on the Blazes and Thunders?
Man, that was definitely a thing.
And we're now joined in chat by our second place player, Grendy. GG's for that on you as well. That was brutal.
Yeah, that was a very brutal seed, and congratulations to both of you for finishing it.
I wanted it. I just wanted to win.
Yeah, I mean, you were within 4 minutes of Fiend. It was so you go back and watch, and this is the part that we need to really like get into the detail play here. At a certain point, you actually took the lead, and you didn't actually let it go until Topher had other plans for you.
Yeah. I wonder if I should have gone with just the swing and fast plan before I went for the grind on Kraken. I might have been able to get through it. I was just starting to tilt because Topher was not nice the whole way through.
No, we were just talking with Fiend about the Agamas, which he actually saw on a grind earlier, and you got to see the delightful blazes they had, but they also had Thunder behind that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that, but the Agamas alone were enough to upset me.
Yeah,
and the Earth Elementals, yeah, screw those things.
Yeah, the Earths were hitting you like a thing that hits very hard that I have entirely forgotten the phrase for.
Everything. I felt like everything was getting sneak attacks on me.
Just like a pack of bald bulls there.
Yes, that will fit. But it was a very interesting race to watch, at least from our perspective. It was just really quite tight at the end there. So thank you both for that, I do have to say.
It was a good race, start to finish. Played very well, very fun to watch. If you go back and watch the VOD for both of you, you'll see some advice from both of us, a few bit of discussions, things that we think you guys could like do in the future. But overall, you played this really well. And I mean, 146 on this nasty Topher, that's a great time to put it.
I'm guessing not like quad dipping Elfland is
It was a
probably
fun
the
seed.
advice.
I really didn't feel like I saw anything too scary until Topher, and then it was all bad news. And I felt kind of bad going in there because I didn't have a defense sword, I couldn't learn ruse, and I didn't have life. And it was one wrong step was definitely going to be the end of it. That kind of what happened.
Yeah, to be fair, we didn't see life at all on either screen. So we think life probably rolled 7 or 8, or 7 and 8 for life and life 2.
Yeah, it's possible. And as far as like going and hitting the towns more than once, I mean, sometimes you just have to for items and spells. It's like when you have the money, you can spend it, but sometimes you don't have the money, so that happens. So, anything else you guys had thoughts about this seed before we kind of start moving into the wrap up, because it is 1 in the morning.
No, I can't remember anything too crazy about the seed.
Were we both in the air around the same time? I will go back and watch it, but I was curious about that.
You were a little earlier, probably by about 5 minutes or so. You made you made the play to get over there sooner, and I think you were in the air first. But now it's all a blur to me because it is 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I think you made the really lazy dwarf play. Like, yeah, you got to play mailman for him, basically.
Yeah.
I think you made that one first, Fiend.
Yeah. So, we're gonna do final thoughts in just a second. But Grendy, was this your third match of the tournament, or we heard like you were 0-2 before this? Was that right?
That was right.
Okay, so you are out of the tournament now. How'd you feel about this, your spring tournament performance this time around?
Honestly, I really like this flag set.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super fun flag set. I love the randomized incentive location in dungeons, but I also like to open up boxes, so it just kind of works for me.
Fiend, we heard that this was your first broadcast match ever. Was that right?
That is correct. First
Awesome.
bracket, first anything other than just practice seeds.
And first win at that.
That it is.
GG's to you. So yeah, let's move on to final thoughts and go in for the wrap up at this point. We'll start with Fiend, our winner. Final thoughts from you.
Just I guess thank you guys for again staying up late, commentating, and I hope it was fun to watch.
Grendy, final thoughts.
Yeah, like he said, thanks to everyone, and if somebody's watching this that doesn't play and wants to, just join in. It's not that hard, and everybody's super helpful.
Hey, you got any final thoughts for us and for the people out there in the viewing audience?
Go follow our runners. They both put on a great show for us tonight. It was very, very well done for them both, and especially persisting through that horrible, horrible Topher.
Yeah.
So go give them both a follow, and yeah, and also as Grendy said, if there's people watching who want to get into this, come join the community, join the Discord. It's really, really interesting. It's really open and welcoming. I myself only started running 4 to 6 weeks ago, and the community has welcomed me. So come join us.
It's great to have you here on the team, Hate. So with that, I'm gonna start sending us back out there into our homes and our beds, because it's past midnight for most of this country at this point in the United States. Want to remind everyone, if you're interested in what you saw, like the game, maybe want to come play, go visit VitalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can find the randomizer there, along with links to the Discord and the development Discord. Come be a part of the fun and the action. If you're new, we also invite you to stick around, because we will have, starting up in May, our Duckling Bootcamp, Duckling being the name for our new players. We will take you through 8 weeks of flags and training lessons to teach you how to play Final Fantasy Randomizer. And then in July, we will have our next biannual Duckling Derby, where all the new players who want to come race can play it. The last time we did it, we had over 40 Ducklings race in the tournament. It was great fun. We invite all the new players to come out, play the flags, come be a part of the Duck Derby, be a part of the community, and enjoy everything that is Final Fantasy Randomizer. Make sure you follow the runners, of course, as Hate, my co-commentator, said, Grendy and Fiend of Pub Session, as well as the team behind the scenes, Hate 13, Duchess for Kaioslama, and I guess myself. Yeah. And then we hope that you enjoyed this presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer. We will have continuing coverage of the spring tournament throughout the next 2.5 weeks through pods, and then brackets will pick up from there. We hope you'll stick around for all of that. From myself and Hate 13 in the booth, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great rest of your evening, and good night.